Hello everyone, welcome to Bad Fashion's YouTube channel. My name is Eunice. So today we're going to be learning how to make a bubble gown with a built-up collar. And this built-up collar will run as a strip all the way down to the hemline of this outfit. And then it's also going to be a cut together with sleeve. So I'm just going to show us how to take the measurement from the center back to the sleeve length. So this is how to take the measurement. You take it from the center back over the shoulder down to the length where you want the sleeve to stop. And in this case, I'm using 18 inches. So I've placed my fabric on fold. I folded 18 inches, so you can see. So I'm going ahead to draw my shoulder line so that we can start drafting. The measurement you need here is the bust measurement, your waist measurement, the hip, and the full length of the gown. So I have folded my fabric. I folded 18 inches. So we're going to start drafting. So on the shoulder line, to create my shoulder slant, I'm going to mark 3 inches on that shoulder line and mark 8 inches. On the 8 inches mark, I'll come down by 1 inch to create my shoulder slant, which is what you can see me doing right now. So by connecting this to the shoulder slant, so I'll just take it all the way to this end. That's all the way down to the sleeve length. So basically, around this sleeve length, you can see that the shoulder slant here is like 2¼ inch. Okay, so the wider it is, the more the shoulder slant will open up. Okay, so now I'll go ahead to mark from this line. Now I'm going to mark the chest line. So the chest line I'm using here is 11 inches. So here's my 11 inches. The waistline is 18 inches. The hip line is 26. The full length is 60. So I need to shift my fabric upwards. The 60 plus my hemming allowance of 2 inches. So I'm just going to go ahead and mark out my lines. So here we are. So this is the hip line, waistline, and then chest line, okay, or bust line, sorry, not chest line, bust line. Okay, so this bust line now, so I'm going to go ahead and enter my measurements. So this is the bust I'm working with is bust 50. So we go ahead and divide our circumferences by 4. So 50 divided by 4, that will give me 12.5. So I'm going to enter my 12.5 on the bust point line. So I'll proceed to the waistline. I'll go ahead and divide the waist measurement by 4 also. And here the waist measurement is 44. 44 divided by 4, that will give us 11. And then on the hip line, I'll enter 12.5 because the hip measurement is also 50. So when you divide 50 by 4, that will give you 12.5. So I'm going to take the same measurement down to the hem of this outfit. So I'm just going to enter the same 12.5 on the hem. So since we are making a boo-boo, I'm not going to be using my regular sewing allowance of 2 inches. In this case, I'll be adding 3 inches to the measurement. So right now I have my actual measurements. I'm going to go ahead and add 3 inches to each of the measurements. So this is me adding my 3 inches. I'll do this all the way down to the hem of this outfit. So this is the actual measurement, 3 inches for my sewing allowance. So things are making a boo-boo. Okay, so now I'm going to come from this side now. Remember that this 3 inches, I won't be sewing on 3 inches, I'll just be sewing on 1 inch. So basically, this is to increase the size of the bubble since I am making a bubble. So the remaining 2 inches is to give it the ease, that freeness that your bubble needs. Okay, so now I'll come here to this part. On this part where my 18 inches stops, this is going to be my sleeve opening. I'm going to come down by 10 inches. So can you see from here, I'll come down by 10 inches. So this is it. I came in by 10 inches. So now on this part, I will come in by 1 inch. Can you see I came in by 1 inch from this part? So now I'll slant it to meet this. I don't want the sleeve to just be straight, because when it is slightly curved like this, it has a way of giving it a nicer finishing, okay, instead of just leaving it straight and then it will be sticking out. So you can see I came down by 10 inches, which is for my sleeve opening. So on this part now, I'm going to come out by 1 inch and just curve it. So can you see? So this is where my sleeve opening is going to be 10 inches, and then this is the curve I want. So you can see that this is actually the bust line, but you can see now that the armhole has come down here, so there's going to be that opening around here. I hope we understand. Okay, so now the next thing to do now, I'm going to draw my neckline. I'm going to be using a neck width of 4 inches, and then a neck depth of 1 inch for the back. So this is going to serve as my back piece. Okay, so this is my 1 inch neckline. Okay, so now we're done with this back piece. So what I'll do, I'll just go ahead and cut it out. After cutting it out, I'll place exactly what I have I'll fold the wrapper and place exactly what I have to cut the second one, which will serve as the front. So let's cut out. Okay, so now I didn't mention something. I'm going to go up here by halving. This halving to be for joining the shoulder together. So this is my sewing allowance for joining the shoulders together. So now you can see that we have our back piece. So I'm just going to place and cut out the same thing. Then I'll show us what to do next. Okay, so I've gone ahead to cut out the same thing. So you can see I have two of this. This now can serve as my back, and then this will serve as the front. So now we're done with the back, so we're just going to keep it aside, and then I'll show us how to achieve the built-up collar. Okay, so now to achieve your built-up collar, first you're going to take your measurement this way. So let me just show us the way to take the measurement. Okay, you place your tape around your neck like this, then, and decide how deep you want the neckline to be. Okay, so here I have 20 I have 25 inches. That's from my neckline at the back, from my neck at the back. Okay, so I have 25 inches. So that will determine the depth of the neckline you want to use. So now what we're going to do, of course you can see that I took for both sides at the same time. So 25 divided by 2, that's 12.5. Okay, so what we're going to do now, I'm going to measure the neckline of the back. I can also use this one to do the neckline, but this is just for clarity. So this is the neckline of the back like this. Remember that it's on fold, so I'm measuring half. Okay, so I'll just take my measurement this way. What I have here is 5 inches. So you can place your tape like this so that you can measure on a curved line. So and I still have 5 inches. Okay, so this is 5 inches. So that means, I remember that I said when I measured my neck, I was looking for 12.5 on one side. So I already have 5 inches here. So that means the depth I'm looking for here in front should be 7 inches, or let's just say 8 inches, 7.5. Okay, let's say 7.5. Remember that half inch will be for joining the shoulder line. So that back to half inch will be for joining the shoulder line. So let's call that, let's say we have 4.5 there. So if I'm marking on my 7.5 here, can you see this? So this is where the neck depth will reach for the back. Okay, so now remember that we're making a built-up collar. So because I'm making a built-up collar now, what I'll be doing, I've marked my 7 inches. This is where the neck depth of the front will stop. So I'm going to come here now and mark 1.5 this way, 1.5, all the way down. That's from this neckline here, from this depth here that I have. So I'll mark all the way 1.5 all the way down and show us the next thing to do. I've marked my 1.5. I hope we can see it clearly. I've marked my 1.5 all the way down to the hem of my outfit. So now I'll come here to this part. Remember that this is where my 7 inches is. So I'm just going to use my curved ruler like this. Can you see? Or you can use the straight part of your ruler, whichever one you want. So you connect it like this. Did you see what I did? I'm connecting it to this point. So I came down by 7.5 and then I started marking 1.5 inch all the way down. So now the next thing I'll do, I'm going to be cutting out this place. So I'm just going to start from the hem here. This is the 1.5. I'll just cut it out. Take note, this is my front piece. Remember that we kept our back piece aside. So I'm doing this only on one. Okay, so when I get to this 7.5 inches, so I'll go ahead and follow the slanted line to give me this shape. Okay, so can you see that I've gone ahead to cut out the neck line? Okay, so this is it now. So having done this, now the next thing to do is to measure what I have here all the way down to the hem. So from this part here, I'm going to take my measurement. So here, everything I have here is the same 62 inches. So 62 inches. And then what I have here on the neckline of the back, remember we already took our measurement and we got 5 inches. So of course we took it on one side. So that is 10 on both sides. And then this that we have 62, of course that's on one side. So on the both sides, 62 plus 62, that will give us 124. So I'm going to be cutting a strip of 2.5 inches. Remember I cut out 1.5 from the center front. This 1.5 that I cut out, this 1.5 that I cut out from the center front, I'll be cutting a fabric that will replace it, a lace fabric. But the width of that lace fabric is going to be 2.5. That's plus my sewing allowance, okay? So I'm going to place my fabric and show us how to cut it out. So I've gone ahead to cut out my lace fabric, which is 2.5 inches on fold. Can you see? 2.5 inches on fold. When I open, I will have 5 inches. So I remember I cut out 1.5, so I went ahead to cut out 2.5 inches on fold because it needs to be on fold. And I have two pieces of this because remember that when we measured, we got 62 in front and the back we had like 5 inches. So and I'm going to multiply that measurement by 2 because that was just for one side. So now we are looking for a total of 62 plus 5, that's 67. So 67 times 2, that will give us 134. Okay, if I'm not mistaken, that's 134. Okay, so in all my strip is as long as that. I have two of this, so it has given me my 134. I cut it on fold. So this is lace fabric, so I'm using this black satin to line it. So now I'll be using this satin fabric to line it. Okay, you can see it's bringing it out well, so it's bringing out the gold color. So now what I'll do, I'll take this to my sewing machine and join the two pieces together. Remember that it's a built-up collar, so I'll join the two pieces together. I'll also do the same thing for my lining, and then I'll go ahead and top stitch them together. Then I'll come and show us the next thing to do. Okay, so I've gone ahead to top stitch my lace and lining together, and see I folded it into two as I ironed it into two. So remember that we took our measurement from the neckline, the front and back neckline, and we got 25 inches, which is half. Half of it is 12.5. Take note, the back we measured and we got 5, and this is our front neckline. So we have 12.5. So now on this fabric, this strip that I'll be using for the collar, I'm going to come down by that 12.5 inches. So I'm just going to hold it here at the end here. Hold the two ends together like this. Okay, so can you see this is where my I'll measure 12.5. The whole neckline is 25 inches. Of course, that's for the whole round neckline. So this is for one side and this is for the other. So I'll fold into two like this and mark my 12.5. Okay, I'll just mark at 13 inches. Let me add extra 1 inch, which is here. So now the next thing I'll be doing is to flip it like this. Take note of the way it is. It is folded into two. So I'm going to open it up like you can see me doing right now, and then I'll open up also. Right side facing right side like this. And then I'll come down and mark my 13 inches. So here's my 13 inches. I'm going to take it to my sewing machine and start sewing from here. I'm going to leave this place open and start sewing from here all the way down to the hem here. Then I'll come back and show us the next thing to do. So after joining them together from the center here, the next thing I'll be doing now, can you see what I have? Okay, so this is where the head will pass through from here like this. So this is what it will look like. Okay, so I'm going to take it up. So and then you now top stitch the sides together. You can see that this side is still open, so all you need to do is to top stitch it and then sew them together. Okay, so you can see I used 13 inches and see how it passed through my head. So if you want it to be deeper, you can go deeper as 15, 16, depending on what you want to have, and you can still go higher depending on the size of your head. So I'm working based on the size of my client's head. So I'm just going to top stitch it and show us the next thing to do. So you can see I've sewn my strip. Can you see what we have? It's sitting nicely. So I've also gone ahead to cut out my linings. So I have two pieces. This is for the front. Can you see? So now the next thing I'll be doing now, I have two pieces for the front. I also have my one piece for the back. So this is what I'll be doing. I'm going to join the shoulders. This is for the front now, and this is the wrong side of my lining, of my fabric. I'm going to bring in the right side. I'm going to bring the back side, rather, sorry. So this is also the wrong side of the back. Then I'll go ahead and place my lining over like this. I won't place my lining over like this, just pin the shoulder. I'll also pin the shoulder like this. So I haven't pinned the back. So now I'll come with my front piece. This is one side of the front. Sorry, I have a lot of fabric. Don't get confused. Just watch carefully. You will understand what I'm doing. This is my back piece now. This is the neck side. And then this is the lining. This is the lining for the front piece. I'll bring it this way, like this, lining facing lining. And then I'll bring the main fabric, the front piece. Can you see? This is right side. So this is lining for the front, and this is lining for the back like this. Can you see how it is? Can you see? So now I'm going to place the lining here like this. Note, main fabric, lining, lining, then main fabric. So this is the right side. Of course, this is the right side too of the back. So now I'm going to just take this front piece and bring it to the back this way. That's right side facing right side from the back here. So I'll pin it this way. Can you see? And then I'll pin down here too. Can you see? Right side of my fabric facing right side from the back, and then you can see the linings, they are both facing each other. So I'm going to take it to my sewing machine and sew straight on half inch. Take note that is my lining that is facing me. What I intend to achieve, I'm trying to sew the shoulder and to hide my seam line so that by the time we are done, I can now bring this front this way. That's right side facing right side. Can you see? I'll bring it this way. And then, of course, it will appear this way. Can you see that? Can you see? So you can't see my seam line. So I'm going to do exactly the same thing for the other side too, and then I'll sew it and bring it back. So after joining my shoulders, this is what I have. So I went ahead to sew the lining and the fabric together. Can you see? And then I also went ahead to turn this side because this is just so that it gives me the neat finishing, or you weave it, whichever one you prefer to do. So now time for me to bring in my built up collar or my collar strip. So all you need to do is to notch the center. Can you see how it is here? I'll notch the center and then also pick the main fabric and then place the shoulders together like this and then notch the center back. Notch the center back. So now I'm going to go ahead and start pinning them. So I'm going to pin like this. This is how it looks. So I'll bring it like this. Right side of the lace facing right side. Even though the both sides of the lace, they are all right side. So, but to be placed on the right side of the fabric, that's what I'm trying to say. So can you see? You place it on the right side of the fabric like this, so that when you are done, it can fall forward this way. So I'm just going to continue pinning. So I'm going to pin this way all the way down to the hem of the gown. Can you see? I'm going to keep pinning and then I'll show us what it looks like when I'm done pinning it. So I'm done pinning it. You see, I started from the center back here all the way down to the hem. So what I'll do, I'll take it to my sewing machine and sew this side. I'll be sewing on half inch all the way to this center back. So then I'll go ahead and pin this side. Now take note of the way it is, because there's no how. If I decide to pin this side together like this is what I will have, which is not bad. You can also go ahead and turn this other side and pin it too this way. You can decide to sew one side and then come and pin and then come back and pin the other side, or you pin all of them so that you can sew all at once. But I will advise that when you are pinning, please, so when you are sewing, start sewing from the middle so that you sew all the way down, and then start from this middle and sew all the way down. This will avoid any gathering or any excess or packing, whatever it is, everything will come out well. So this is it now. I'm pinning the second side. So this is what we have after joining a collar that goes all the way down. So this is the wrong side. I went ahead to weave it. Just make sure that your work is neat. And then I also trimmed out from the length I thought of adding the lace edge. So this will add beauty to it. So I trimmed out 4 inches from the length. Sorry, I trimmed out 3 inches from the length. So I went ahead to add the lace mount to give me the full length. So you can see that it turned out beautiful. I did the same thing too for the back. So, and I also went ahead to attach the lace edge to the sleeves. So you can see it too on this side. So now the next thing I'll be doing is to fix my pocket. I want to just make sure that you arrange it because we'll need to take measurement. So this is my pocket. So this is what we have. I've gone ahead to fold the pocket. I just folded half inch and then 1 inch and then I sewed on the upper part. I stitched the upper part. So this is it. So this side I folded in half inch and then 1 inch on this side. Did the same thing, half inch, half inch, 1 inch, sorry. Okay, can you see? And then I folded the hem. So you want to just fold your pocket neatly. Make sure that the pockets are equal. This is the upper part, that's why I had to stitch this part. So these parts are the sides and the down part. Can you see how I folded it? Can you see? I folded it this way, and like I said, just make sure that they are equal. So can you see that my pockets are equal? So now the next thing I'll be doing is to come down from the shoulder. I'm going to mark 18 inches, which is going to be the waistline. That's where the pocket will start from. 18 inches from the shoulder tip here. Here is my 18 inches. So I'll come to this side also and measure 18 inches. Make sure that you're marking from the shoulder joining. So here is my 18 inches also for this side. So now I'll be placing my pocket from there. So what I'll be doing now, this is the upper part of the pocket. I'll shift away from this center, that's from this built up collar, from this place by 2.5 inches. Then I'll place my pocket like this. So 2.5 inches, can you see it's too close to the side? So that means I'll shift away by 1.5 inch so that I can have my sewing allowance and still have small space around this side. I hope you understand. So I came in by 1.5 inches and then I placed my pocket. The width of my pocket here, I have 8.25 inches. And then the length I have here, I have 9.5. So you can see I already folded what I don't need. So you cut your pocket based on how big you want this pocket to be. So just in case you want to know the length I use here, I have 9.5 outside and I've already folded 1.5 here, and I've also folded half inch here. So 1.5 plus 9.5, that's 11. 11 plus half inch, so that's 12 inches. So I cut a perfect square of 12 inches. So I folded this side. You can see this side, the folding is more, and then I did the same thing here. So just work with what you want to have. So like I said, I used a perfect square of 12 inches. So that by the time you fold, what you have left will be okay for your hands to go in. So now I'll go ahead and pin the pockets. So I want to pin the edges here. So now I'm going to take it to my sewing machine and stitch it down. But that's after I must have pinned the same thing on this side. So I'm done pinning my pocket down. So I'm going to take it to my sewing machine. I'll sew on these four corners this way. So, but there's something else I'll need to do on this part. Instead of just sewing on four corners, I'm going to sew like an L shape, that just to hold down this part that I folded in so that I don't leave it and then it's just hanging there. So I'm just going to sew like an L shape, that's like, let's say 3/4 of an inch extra, and then I'll take it this way, and then come out by 3/4 of an inch. Can you see? This is what our dress looks like. Can you see how beautiful it turned out? I'm also gone ahead to iron it. You see my pocket, you see, and then this, so you can see my hand can go in. This is what I was talking about. So I just went ahead to top stitch this side so that you don't touch the seam allowance of the pocket. So this is it. So for the sides, can you see, I made sure to align my lace, to align all points. You can achieve this by using your pins. Okay, gone are the days where people say using pins is for amateur. Please use your pins. Or the white people that created those pins, they know that it's very valuable, so that you don't have all these small mismatch. There are some mistakes that you can just avoid on your own. So can you see how they are matching up? My lace is starting from exactly where the Ankara stops. So can you see also for the sleeves too, the same thing. Can you see this side? You still have the same thing, and the hem here too, I have the same thing. Everything is coming out really well. So I'm just going to place this dress, wear this dress on the mannequin, so that we'll see what the dress looks like. So here is what it looks like on the mannequin. Can you see how beautiful it turned out? So this lace edge at the hem came out really nice. The combination is beautiful, unique. I hope you enjoyed watching this video. Please give me a thumbs up, share this video, and do not forget to subscribe. See you in my next one. Bye.